You ever see someone who's just incredibly talented, but they never quite get there? It's like something's holding them back. Well, it turns out there's this powerful, almost invisible force at play. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you exactly what it is and how it's secretly shaping your entire life. So, let's ask the big question. What really, truly drives success? What's that one thing that separates the people who make a huge impact from, well, everyone else? If you're like most of us, you've probably heard the same few answers your whole life.
First up, there's always talent. This idea that some people are just born with it, right? They have this raw, natural gift that just puts them leagues ahead from day one.
Then, of course, there's luck. The whole right place, right time thing. Just stumbling into the perfect opportunity by pure chance.
And of course, the big one we all hear about, hard work. Sheer, brute force effort. The idea that if you just outwork everybody else in the room, success is pretty much guaranteed.
Look, all of those things matter, for sure. But history tells us they are not the main event. Not even close. There's another layer here, a common thread that connects some of the greatest minds ever. And it's something we almost always overlook.
Take Leonardo da Vinci. You think he became this master inventor just sitting alone in a room? No way. He strategically moved to Milan. Why? Because that's where the best engineers in the world were. He knew he had to be near that genius to absorb it.
And we see the exact same thing with Marie Curie. When she hit a wall in Poland, she didn't just pick a new city on a map. She deliberately moved to a new intellectual ecosystem in Paris so she could be surrounded by physicists who were literally changing the world. What Da Vinci and Curie both figured out was the immense power of their reference group. And this is the hidden force we're talking about. It's not just who you know, it's the people you spend the most time with, the ones whose ideas, whose standards, whose ways of thinking you soak up every single day. They literally set the bar for what you consider normal.
Okay, but this isn't just some nice story about historical figures. There is hard science that explains exactly why your circle has this crazy amount of power over you. And it all comes down to what's going on inside your own brain.
It all starts with these amazing little things called mirror neurons. Seriously, think of these as making your brain a biological copy machine. They don't just fire when you do something, they fire when you watch somebody else do it. That means you are constantly and totally unconsciously mimicking the habits and the mindset of the people around you. And this process is just shockingly direct. The input you feed your brain, the mindset of your circle, their standards, their beliefs about what's possible, that becomes your direct output. Their standards slowly but surely become your standards. Their limits become your limits. It's almost like a software update you never agreed to. And this is where it gets dangerous. Because if you're growing, but your environment is staying the same, you eventually hit what we call an invisible ceiling. Look at this chart. Your personal potential might be way up here at 80%, but if your group's collective ceiling is down at 50%, your brain is constantly getting this quiet little message, hey, don't get too far ahead of the pack. And that ceiling will absolutely cap your growth.
So the big question is, how do you shatter that ceiling? Well, the answer is you don't leave it to chance. You have to be strategic. You need a blueprint, a plan, to consciously engineer the very environment that is going to pull you up instead of holding you down.
And that's what we've got. We're going to break this down into a really powerful 6-step framework. These are real, actionable things you can do to start building that dream circle, like today.
Okay, here's the whole blueprint. It starts with a big one. Bring value first. You've got to be a contributor, not just a taker. Then you audit your circle. Get brutally honest about who lifts you up. Step 3 is to expand strategically, finding new groups that scare you a little. 4, protect your growth by creating space for your new ambitions. 5, feed your brain every single day with insights from people you admire. And finally, number 6, you lock it all in when you teach and share what you're learning. Let's just zoom in on that critical first step for a second. Bring value first. You can't just expect to join some amazing group. You have to earn your spot. I mean, look at Benjamin Franklin. He started a group called the Junto for Mutual Improvement, and his rule was simple. Every single week, he showed up with a new, well-researched question or a new essay to debate. He always led with value.
All right, so we've got the science and we've got the blueprint. But none of that means anything if we don't put it into action, right? So let's talk about the single most important habit you can build, starting right now, to turn all this into real-world results.
And let's just remember why this is so unbelievably important. Your talent, your smarts, they're like seeds.
But you can't grow seeds on concrete. Your environment, that's the soil. And it determines whether those seeds are going to flourish or if they're just going to wither away.
So here's how you start. You create what's called a reference notebook. This is your system. Every single week, just like Ben Franklin, you prepare one idea, one insight, one project that you can contribute. That's how you earn your place in better circles. And every single day, you spend 30 minutes just actively absorbing knowledge from your heroes, systematically programming your brain with the right input.
So I'm going to leave you with this one thought. Your reference group isn't just your present, it's a sneak preview of your future. The people you surround yourself with are literally the people you are becoming. So the only real question left is, who do you want that to be?